This presentation will be about Customs Modernization and Tariff Act, Chapter 2, Section 102, the definition of terms. Abatement refers to the reduction of diminution, in whole or in part, of duties and taxes where payment has not been made. This refers to the deduction of duties and taxes payable on imported goods on account of loss, damage, shortage, defect, and other circumstances. Actual or outright exportation refers to the customs procedure applicable to goods in which, being in free circulation, leave the Philippine territory and are intended to remain permanently outside. Admission refers to the act of bringing imported goods directly through transit into a free zone. The Airway Bill. It is a transport document for air freight used by airlines and international freight forwarders, which specify the holder or consignee of the bill who has the right to claim delivery of the goods when they arrive at the port of destination. It is a contract of carriage that includes carrier conditions, such as limits of liability and claims procedures. In addition, it contains transport instructions to airlines and carriers, a description of the goods, and applicable transportation charges. Some of the key functions of the airway bill include providing detailed information about the shipment, the volume or weight of the shipment, the number of packages in the shipment, contact information among all parties, acting as a receipt for the goods being shipped, and serving as a contract between the shipper and the airline. The airway bill also typically includes a list of any special instructions for handling the shipment, or in simple terms, the airway bill is a legal document between the shipper, the exporter or the seller, and the air carrier. Appeal refers to the remedy by which a person who is aggrieved or adversely affected by an action, decision, order, or omission of the Bureau seeks redress before the Bureau, the Secretary of Finance, or competent court as the case may be. Assessment the process of determining the amount of duties and taxes and other charges due on imported exported goods. Authorized Economic Operator, or ABO, refers to the importer, exporter, customs broker, forwarder, freight forwarder, transport provider, and any other entity duly accredited by the Bureau based on the World Customs Organization framework of standards to secure and facilitate global trade. The revised Kyoto Convention, the World Customs Organization chain management guidelines, and the various national best practices to promote trade facilitation and to provide a seamless movement of goods across borders through secure international trade supply chains with the use of risk management and modern technology. Bill of Lading, a transport document issued by shipping lines, carriers, and international freight forwarders or non-vessel operating common carrier for waterborne freight. The holder or consignee of the bill has the right to claim delivery of the goods at the port of destination. It is a contract of carriage that includes earner conditions, such as limits of liability and claims procedures. In addition, it contains transport instructions to shipping lines and carriers, a description of the goods, and applicable transportation charges. Bureau. This refers to the Bureau of Customs. Carrier refers to the person actually transporting goods or in charge of or responsible for the operation of the means of transport, such as airlines, shipping lines, freight forwarders, cargo consolidators, non vessel operating common carriers, and other international transport operators. Clearance refers to the completion of customs and other government formalities necessary to allow goods to enter for consumption, warehousing, transit or transshipment, or to be exported or placed under another customs procedure. Commission refers to the tariff commission. So, what is the tariff commission? The tariff commission is the principal and independent authority on tariffs and trade remedies, and a key provider on non-tariff measures and international trade issues. Conditional importation refers to the customs procedure known under the RKC as temporary admission, in which certain goods can be brought into a customs territory, conditionally relieved, totally or partially, from payment of import duties and taxes. Such goods must be imported for a specific purpose and must be intended for the exportation within a specific period and without having undergone any substantial change except due to normal depreciation. Customs broker refers to any person who is a bona fide holder of a valid certificate of registration identification card issued by the Professional Regulatory Board and Professional Regulation Commission pursuant to Republic Act number 9280. Customs Office refers to any customs administrative unit that is competent and authorized to perform all or any of the functions enumerated under customs and tariff laws. Customs Officer, as distinguished from a clerk or employee, refers to a person whose duty, not being clerical or manual in nature, involves the exercise of discretion in performing the function of the Bureau. It may also refer to an employee authorized to perform a specific function of the Bureau as provided in this Act. Customs Territory refers to areas in the Philippines where customs and tariff laws may be enforced. Entry refers to the act, documentation, and process of bringing imported goods in the customs territory, including goods coming from free zones. Exportation refers to the act, documentation, and process of bringing goods out of Philippine territory. Export declaration refers to a statement made in the manner prescribed by the Bureau and other appropriate agencies by which the persons concerned indicate the procedure to be observed for taking out or causing to be taken out any exported goods and the particulars of which the Customs Administration shall require. Flexible costs refer to the power of the President upon recommendation of the National Economic and Development Authority to increase, reduce, or removing existing protection tariff rates of import duty, but in no case shall be higher than 100% ad valorem, to establish import quota or to ban importation of any commodity as may be necessary, and to impose additional duty on all import not exceeding 10% ad valorem whenever necessary. Foreign exporter. This refers to one whose name appears on documentation attesting to the export of the product to the Philippines regardless of the manufacturer's name in the invoice. Free zone refers to special economic zones registered with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority under Republic Act number 7916 as amended, duly chartered or legislated special economic zones and freeport such as Clark Freeport Zone, Poro Point Freeport Zone, John Hay Special Economic Zone, and Subic Bay Freeport Zone under Republic Act number 7227 as amended by Republic Act number 9400. The Aurora Special Economic Zone under Republic Act number 9490, the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport under Republic Act number 7922, the Zamboanga City Special Economic Zone Under Republic Act number 7903, the Freeport Area of Bataan, under Republic Act number 9728, and such other free ports are established or may be created by law. Goods refer to articles, wares, merchandise, and any other items which are subject of importation or exportation. Goods declaration refers to a statement made in the manner prescribed by the Bureau and other appropriate agencies, by which the persons concerned indicate the procedure to be observed in the application for the entry or admission of import goods and the particulars of which the Customs Administration shall require. Importation refers to the act of bringing in of goods from foreign territory into Philippine territory, whether for consumption, warehousing, or admission as defined in this act. A freight forwarder refers to a local entity that acts as a cargo intermediary and facilitates transport of goods on behalf of its client without assuming the role of a carrier, which can also perform other forwarding services, such as booking cargo space, negotiating freight rates, preparing documents, advancing freight payments, providing packing and crating, trucking and warehousing, engaging as an agent or representative of a foreign non-vessel operating as a common carrier consolidator, named in the Master Bill of Lading as consignee of a consolidated shipment and other related undertakings. International freight forwarder refers to a person responsible for the assembly and consolidation of shipments into single lot, and assuming in most cases the full responsibility for the international transport of such shipment from point of receipt to the point of destination. Jurisdiction control refers to the power and rights of the Bureau in exercising supervision and police authority over all seas within the jurisdiction of the Philippine territory and over all coasts, ports, airports, harbors, bays, rivers, and inland waters, whether navigable or not from the sea. Lodgment refers to the registration of a goods declaration with the Bureau. Non-vessel operating common carrier, or NVOCC, refers to an entity which may or may not own or operate vessel that provides a point-to-point service, which may include several modes of transport and or undertakes group age of less container load, shipments, and issues corresponding the transport document. So it is an ocean carrier who performs all the services of a carrier, but who does not own their own vessel. They operate by leasing or buying available space in containers and using their own house bill of lading to contract with customers. Outright smuggling refers to an act of importing goods into the country without complete customs prescribed importation documents or without being cleared by customs or other regulatory government agencies for the purpose of evading payment of prescribed taxes, duties, and other government charges. Perishable goods refers to goods liable to perish or goods that depreciate greatly in value while stored or which cannot be kept without great disproportionate expense, which may proceed to advertise and sold at auction upon notice if deemed reasonable. Port of entry refers to a domestic port open to both domestic and international trade, including principal ports of entry and subports of entry. A principal port of entry is the chief port of entry of the customs district, wherein it is situated and is the permanent station of the district collector of such port. Subports of entry are under the administrative jurisdiction of the district collector of the principal port of entry of the customs district. Port of entry as used in this act shall include airport of entry. Port of discharge, also called port of unloading, refers to a place where a vessel, ship, aircraft, or train unloads its shipment, from where they will be dispatched to their respective consignees. Re-exportation means exportation of goods which have been imported. An example of this would be when one member of a free trade agreement charges lower tariffs to external nations to win trade, and then re exports the same product to another partner in the trade agreement but tariff free. Re exportation can be used to avoid sanctions by other nations. Release of goods refers to the action by the bureau to permit goods undergoing clearance to be placed at the disposal of the party concerned. Refund refers to the return in whole or in part of duties and taxes paid on goods. Security refers to any form of guarantee such as surety bond, cash bond, standby letter of credit, or irrevocable letter of credit, which ensures the satisfaction of an obligation to the Bureau. Smuggling refers to the fraudulent act of importing any goods into the Philippines, or the act of assisting in receiving, concealing, buying, selling, disposing, or transporting such goods with full knowledge that the same has been fraudulently imported, or the fraudulent exportation of goods. Goods referred to under this definition shall be known as smuggled goods. Taxes refer to all taxes, fees, and charges imposed under this Act and the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended and collected by the Bureau. Technical smuggling refers to the act of importing goods into the country by means of fraudulent, falsified, or erroneous declaration of the goods to its nature, kind of quality, quality, and quantity or weight for the purpose of reducing or avoiding payment of prescribed taxes, duties, and other charges. Tentative release refers to a case where the assessment is disputed and pending review. An importer may be put up a cash bond equivalent to the duties and taxes due on goods before the importer can obtain the release of said goods. Transit refers to the customs procedure under which goods in its original form are transported under customs control from one customs office to another or to a free zone. Transshipment refers to the customs procedure under which goods are transferred under customs control for the importing means of transport to the exporting means of transport within the area of one customs office, which is the office of both importation and exportation. Traveler refers to any person who temporarily enters the territory of a country in which he or she does not normally resides, or meaning a non-resident, or someone who leaves the territory, and any person who leaves the territory of a country in which he or she normally resides, or who returns to the territory. Third party refers to any person who deals directly with the Bureau for and on behalf of another person relating to the importation, exportation, movement, or storage of goods. That is all for this presentation. Thank you.